Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you all. The questions are popping tonight, guys. There are almost 20 before we start. If you want them to be answered, you need to put them in now. I want to stress that for tonight. So, happy Tuesday. Thank you all for joining us. I am Kat, the nurse flipper, if you do not know, joined by my co-host, Rod, and my old co-host down there, Julian, was with us for a couple of years. So if you haven't watched us a while, you might not know Julian, but Julian was my co-host for about 2 years. And then Caddy Corner, I'm super excited to have Julee from 1WayVintage with us. I had the pleasure of meeting Julee in person. Rod did as well. We met Julee in Phoenix, and she is absolutely amazing. So we're super excited to have her here with us too. So I'm going to make Julian big just in case you guys aren't one of the 100 and whatever thousand followers that he has following him, so he can tell you about himself and his other channel as well. Then I'll make Julee big, and then we will get to your questions. So here is Julian.
Hey, my name is Julian. I'm also known as the Bearded Thrift Machine. That's one of my other channels. Then I have a smaller channel called the Flip Squad. I'm a full-time eBay, whatnot, everything type of seller. We have a booth. We do a whole bunch of things. And it's me and my wife. We do it full-time. We're also full-time YouTubers. And I'm just happy tonight. Thank you, Kat and Rod, for letting me on here. And Julie, it was nice meeting you too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to be here. The questions seem a lot harder than they used to be. And I'm in the hot seat. So
that's because you weren't in the hot seat. That's why.
I know.
You just said what they said.
That's switch spots. This is scary.
All right, here's Julee.
No, I'm glad you're in the hot seat, Julian, for sure. I am Julee, and our channel on YouTube is 1WayVintage. My better half can't be with me tonight, but he's known as Dat Guy Mike. If you want to see him, he's pretty crazy. You got to follow us on our YouTube channel. We also do live selling, so if you have any Shopify questions, we do live selling through Shopify on YouTube on the Niche Shopping Network on a weekly basis. So I'm happy to entertain questions that you have about that. I also sell on eBay. I'm just so excited to be here tonight. Thank you, Kat, for the invite. And let's go. Let's get these hard questions started. I'm a little nervous.
Let's get it going. Don't be scared. Julian will pass every single question to you.
Great.
I don't know nothing.
I wanted to put this up, guys, because Flutter by Flipper in Australia commented on the live at like 10 o'clock this morning, which was probably night there. So it is probably morning. So I don't know if she's here, but I know we have several Australian viewers, and I wanted to put that up there and say thank you. We really appreciate you. And we got a $20 super chat before we even started, which is absolutely amazing, from Lee, that says, thanks to last week's guests, I was able to change my shipping and keep some of my shipping money. Woohoo. That's why we're here, to help you make more money, help you save money. That's exactly why we do what we do. I'm going to give you my favorite super chat, and that is the whale. Here you go.
That's a good one.
Thank you to Gino. If you guys do not follow Gino's Finds, he makes the majority of my super chats here, and I greatly appreciate him. And Lee, thank you again. I'm so happy we were able to help. That is exactly why we're here. All right, let's see what we got. Miss Wendy said, can you give tips for selling Coca-Cola merch? I think I may have found an antique metal tray. It looks painted underneath a coat of green paint. How can I tell how old it is?
Oh my goodness.
And then there's more. There's more. She said she lets merch oversaturated, and do you even bother with it? So I'm going to say in the chat too, in case we have any Coca-Cola experts, if you can chime in on this, because I have a feeling that the panel might not be. But so give it your best shot, Julian.
Thanks. I appreciate it. This one's tough. Like if I had, okay, I'm going to put myself in your shoes, Wendy. And if I had this Coca-Cola thing, I would do a lot of research on like Google Lens. That's my go-to, right? And then if I can't tell from there, I now have like a person that knows a lot of stuff about like antiques and everything at this place that I go. So it's like I would bring it into them. But from that point on, if I want to know if it's like an antique or something, how old it is, Facebook groups are always pretty good. But making relationships in your reselling network where you can shoot a picture to somebody, say, hey, this is this what this looks like. They can almost tell almost immediately if it's like real or like a reproduction because they know what they're looking at. Somebody like me, I don't know what I'm looking at. So I'm always like, I don't know, what is it? But I usually can do Google Lens, and then if that doesn't work, I usually go to like somebody that I know that knows about it. And then if I don't know that, then it's usually some sort of Facebook group I would pop it in. But if it's something good and valuable and old, oversaturation there could be, that might be rare or something, or they didn't make a lot of or something. So I don't ever think about oversaturation because you might have a good item, or it might be a repop from like, I don't know, 2014, and there's a whole bunch of them. So I would, Google Lens is my friend. And after that, I have a friend that tells me, you have nothing. Take this out of my shop.
Hey, awesome answer. I would just add that checking the sell-through rate, if you can't find an exact match, then my go-to thing, especially for things that are oversaturated, is do you see a lot of them? Is it something that really catches your eye that you think is more unique than the things that are out there? I tend to pass up all Coca-Cola things. I don't know that I've ever sold a Coca-Cola thing just because it looked oversaturated when I did the comps, especially like glasses. But I am tempted by the cute little tin trays, but the reproductions are difficult to tell sometimes.
So if you don't know, Coca-Cola, I think it was founded was 1886. So it's been around for a very long time. The reason I bring that up is it's an extremely oversaturated market. If you find original Coca-Cola stuff from the 20s, 30s, and 40s, they could bring really good money. Unfortunately, a lot of those items have been reproduced even to the 60s and 70s. So you may find something in the 60s and 70s, and it's actually a reproduction of the original signs and original trays. I've had the Coca-Cola. I've had, if it's the one I'm thinking about, with the lady on the tray. I mean, they have reproductions in the 70s on those, if I'm not mistaken. So I try to avoid, I assume every time I find Coca-Cola stuff is a reproduction just because there's so much stuff out there. But Julian gave some good answers there about going to Facebook groups or making local connections. If you take it to a local like antique mall in your area or something like that, they may even tell you if it's, I'm going to assume it's going to be a reproduction more than anything on that. I've been to auctions where the stuff has gone for big money. You can tell a difference between a reproduction and a real one, which you have in front of you. But I mean, there's a lot of ones out there, and more likely it's probably going to be a reproduction. But put in some Facebook groups, take some pictures of it. Even if you use Google Lens, you may put the reproductions or the originals. It may not help you. So you might it might be better going off getting an actual person to actually give you an idea, which is like a Facebook group or something else.
Yeah, I wanted to throw this up here because Vintage Vinny is actually a good friend of mine. And they said Vinny has a specific video on Coca-Cola and identifying real from fake. So definitely go check out Vinny. He's a really, really good guy. He knows his stuff. So I did want to throw that up there. And thank you, Celeste, for throwing that out there for us. As far as me, I tend to stay away from it because it is very heavily oversaturated, and I think there are a ton of reproductions, and I just don't have the knowledge. And even some of the original stuff doesn't go that high because I think they made a lot of it, right? Like Coca-Cola advertising, there was so much made, and when you get into this stuff that there's just so much, the demand's not there. It's almost like Avon bottles, where like there were just so many produced that the demand is just not going to be there. And speaking of Avon, or this is kind of along the line. So Rod, I don't know if you remember, Wendy had the Jim Beam decanter, and we told her we didn't think it was worth much. She sold it for $20 though. So $20 is $20. But guys, beware with those decanters. Same thing. A lot of them were produced, typically not a high value on those. But Wendy, I'm super glad that you got rid of that. And here is Miss Elena. If you guys do not know, I mentioned her in my video that I put out on Sunday. Treasure Diva Thrift said, if linens usually take a while to sell, do you end and sell similar after 90 days, or do you wait longer to do so? And if so, how long do you typically wait? So if you don't sell linens, I guess you could add, you know, your policy on other stuff, or I don't know. Julian,
yeah, I don't sell a whole bunch of linens, but again, I'll put myself in your shoes with another thing, because I have a lot of stuff that doesn't really sell that fast. One is going to be like sockets. Like I still sell individual sockets. I have like hundreds listed. I actually never, I won't say never, maybe every 3 or 4 months I might go in and like delist a couple when they're ready to go. If I'm delisting and selling similar, like end the item and sell similar. But I don't really do it if it has a good a snap-on socket is going to sell no matter what. I just need the guy that needs the 4 millimeter 1/4 inch drive socket. He only needs one of them. I mean, that guy's out there, and they do sell. They have a good sell-through rate. So, but if your linens have a a solid sell-through rate, I don't know if I would go ahead and just, because I would forget in 90 days. I wouldn't know in 90 days to go ahead and stop that linen sale and then redo it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm starting to be more proactive on delisting and relisting. And just the other day, I delisted and relisted everything in my eBay store and had 5 sales within hours. But then it slowed down after that. So like the day of, it was really crazy. So I don't do anything specifically to delist or relist. I do it to all of it now. And as far as linens, I don't sell too many linens. I know Kat does.
I mean, with anything I have, I want to delist it and relist it at some point in time. It's just a matter of time. There's items I know that are going to be slow sellers. So instead of doing 3 months, I may do like 5 months or something like that, or extend it out. But usually, it just depends on the item. So most of my items, I'm going to try to end and sell similar within a couple months, because I just want to keep them moving. So, I mean, honestly, if they were items that were going to sell slow and they didn't have a certain price point, I probably wouldn't even pick them up. But it just depends on what I'm selling at the time. But Kat gave you a better answer.
Yeah, so I end and relist everything after 90 days. Doesn't matter if it's linens. It doesn't matter what it is. Once it hits that 90-day point, I go by what's ending that day. I look at whatever is ending that day, and I will do sell similar on things that are 90 days or older. And it, like, even though they take longer, it doesn't matter. I still want to refresh them. I still want to get them to the top. And I want to say hi to Rod's dad. I do see you saying hi in the chat. Thank you for being in here. I appreciate it. Is he down here now, Rod?
Yeah, he's down visiting. He drove down the day before the hurricane, so
he rode it out.
Cut it close. We went to the Eagles-Bucks game. It was not a good game for us Eagles fans. So.
Yeah. Oh, Wolfman's Goodies sent a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, and says, howdy, everyone. I appreciate you. What am I going to do? Here you go. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Miss Tempting Treasures wants to know, has anyone used their own store categories on eBay? I'm thinking about adding some to run targeted sales. Would that interfere with regular eBay categories in search? And can I still use eBay ones too?
Oh my goodness, this is so above my pay grade. I'm tapping out. I'm not even going to answer this question. You know why? I don't have a clue, because I have never even made my own eBay store category. I just use theirs. So I don't have a word. I ain't got nothing.
I did play around with store categories, especially when my husband thought he was gonna like turn into one of the t-shirt bros and like have his own category, but we just do everything together. But I did set him up at one point. Instead of having his own separate eBay store, I just gave him a category in my store. So I thought that was pretty clever, except for the fact that he never listed anything. And then I did it for my daughter as well when she wanted to like sell some things for charity. But as far as like how people find your items, I don't think it really matters what category. They're still going to be searchable no matter what. And I think categories might be for someone who has like a large following of people. They visit their store specifically and they want to look through, like maybe they want to look for the glass or the linens, things like that. That's my opinion.
So it doesn't impact the eBay search at all, because your store listings are going to be here, and then you have eBay search. Your eBay search is going to be the main listing, which everyone's going to find your items. Your store is going to be a subcategory of only your listings. So it's not going to impact you in the regular eBay search. I actually put store categories in my store, and I would say the biggest mistake people make is they try to make a category for everything. So if you're going to use categories, only make a category for things that you're going to get normally in all the time. So if you're an everything seller, a good example would be, and this is, I don't sell glass really. So if I pick up a piece of glass, I'm just going to put that in my other category because I don't sell a lot of glass. But if I pick up video games, comic books, toys, I'm going to have a separate category for video games, comic books, toys, because those are things I get on a regular basis, and I always consistently listing my store. So the categories are good for buyers that are looking at your items that want to look at what similar items you have for that category. So setting up a separate category for one-off items doesn't really going to help your store that much. I would say is just make the categories for items that you're going to consistently get in all the time. Then you can list, like, they already have a preset other category in your store that you can use.
Yeah, so I tried making categories, and that was such a joke because I sell so much stuff. I was like, forget this. I did it, and I'm like, what am I thinking? Like, if you guys know me, I buy so much different stuff that for me, making store categories just really does not make sense. I know I think it was one of our guests last week said that they make it for like when it was listed, so they can put the sales on like by the listed date, which is a good idea. But yeah, so I just default to eBay categories is what I do. All right. Our good friend Leroy at Blood Sweat Sell said, who is the new guy? Who's the new guy to reselling down there in the bottom corner? Second question, does anyone have a backup plan, or what do you do in case there is a storm in your area and you have no power for days? What should we do? If you do not know, Hurricane Helene decimated not only Florida, but Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee. Hurricane Helene's reach was a lot further than just us.
And a lot of people died. And
Leroy, I believe, is still without power.
Yeah, it's horrible right now.
So what do you do?
My answer is going to be probably a little bit different than some people's, but I created, when I started this, Kat knows because she was there at the beginning of most of everything that I did, right? So we started yeah, you were there. So I started reselling, and then shortly after I started YouTube, and I was like, okay, I think these can go hand in hand, right? So what I did was I did like a 3-legged prong side business. I was like, I want YouTube, I want reselling, and then I want then Whatnot came aboard. I was like, that's a pretty good 3-legged thing, and I want them to be equal almost. Now Whatnot's not equal to any of those, but right now the other two are kind of equal. So we actually talked about this because Kayla and I are in a hurricane-prone area, as y'all are. And we were like, if something was to happen, especially as bad as it is, and say like I could get out or something, I would literally get out and I would leave my house. I would put my eBay store on vacation mode indefinitely until I came back, because I don't know if I would come back to a house or not or anything like that. And I would literally just go make videos. I would lean on one leg of the business where I know the other one's going to probably not do so well for the next foreseeable future. Because, these hurricanes, they ain't no joke, man. Like, it was bad. It's bad all up and down, in North Carolina and stuff. You just don't know where you're coming home to. So what I did was, I was like, and looking early on, again, Kat was there. I was like, because I do this full time. So do you. It's like, you need more than just that. So that's why I did the YouTube too and did that. And now they're about even. So I would my answer, again, is going to be different than a lot of people's. I would have left anything category 3 or above. I'm out. I'm going to go take a camera and I'm going to go grab a U-Haul trailer, and I'm going to make videos and upload on the road. And then when I get back, at least I'll have some inventory to sell when I get power back on.
Yeah. Oh, my heart goes out to people that are dealing with this right now, and especially those who, that they're stay at home, or a lot of resellers doing this as their side gig, so they're losing there. But funny thing, I think it was like the second or third time we ever went live selling. We had an earthquake live during our sale, but the show went on. Nothing too much knocked over, but that was kind of crazy. I'm here in California, by the way. Let's see, backup plan similar to Kat. I left sort of a medical / educational field. I'm an occupational therapist for over 20 years, so I have that in my back pocket and wouldn't mind doing that a little bit on the side, but the burnt out was real, and do this full time now. So that's my plan.
So Leo already answered your first question. His name is Julian. He's an up and coming YouTuber. It just started out on eBay, so you should go check out the Bearded Thrift Machine. He's created 1 or 2 videos on YouTube, but he can use all the follows he can get. So please go give him a follow.
Subscribe. Hit subscribe.
Subscribe,
as a backup plan. So one thing I always recommend is if you're going to be reselling on eBay, it's really important you have a laptop, because you can take your laptop and work anywhere you want to go. Also have a thermal printer. If you have a thermal printer and a laptop, you can run your business from anywhere that you need to run it.
I'm trying to show you it.
Yep, right there.
Almost reaches. We're giving one away tonight, guys.
Is that the giveaway? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So you can literally put those in your suitcase. If you go traveling, you bring your laptop with you. You can go thrifting anywhere in the country. You can literally on vacation go do that, pay for your vacation. So for me, I always have a laptop and my thermal printer. If my power goes out or anything goes out, I can literally grab my items with a flashlight, and I can literally go to a coffee shop somewhere else, hook up my laptop, and print off my labels if I need to. So that's one thing you could potentially do. You can always find some type of place with an hour or 2 away from you, hopefully, that you can get power to at least print off your labels. Also, too, anytime there's a storm, eBay does give you extra leeway when it comes to shipping out your items, because especially if you're in a hurricane area. I also send out a message to my buyers, because normally you have your cell phone. You can charge it in your car. And I'll send all my messages to buyers, say, hey, just let you know, your item's going to be a little delayed. I'm currently in the middle of a hurricane. 99% of the time, they're going to be completely understandable with that, and you don't have any issues. But as it comes to my inventory, I can care less if a storm came through and wiped out. If I have $100,000 in inventory, then I probably only have $10,000 into that. That doesn't, and the way when you've been doing this for a long enough time, you can pretty much source anywhere. If I started off fresh today, I would have a whole garage full of stuff within a month or so. So I'm not worried about my inventory. I mean, and Kat laughs because she knows it's true. When you've been doing this for so long, you can literally, the reason why you guys don't buy a lot of stuff at garage sales is because you already have a lot of stuff. But imagine if you went out garage selling and you had no inventory, you'll fill that up within no time. So I'm not worried about my inventory. I'm not worried about stuff. You just got to have a backup plan in place. I like Julian's plan about making videos. That's good. That's not for everyone, though, because not everyone's on YouTube. That would be one of the plans I would do, too. I would focus on doing content, because I can create content from anywhere and do stuff, which is a great idea.
Yeah. So for me, we got lucky and got power back Saturday. I was expecting we were going to be without power for about a week, and we got really lucky. My employee still does not have power. I know Shannon's parents still don't have power. So there is still a lot of people in my immediate area that don't have power. I don't know how I got lucky. I'm not going to question it. What we did for the last hurricane, which was not very long ago, and there is another one that is supposed to hit this weekend as well. For those of you that don't know, there is one following Helene's path right up the same alley that is supposed to be here this weekend. Is we shipped in 50-mile-an-hour winds with a generator. I plugged up my laptop. I plugged up my printer. We pulled, we shipped. I did change my handling this time to 3 days because I knew it was going to be a Cat 3, Cat 4. So it was going to be stronger than Debbie was. So we got 100-mile-per-hour winds here. It was, I thought the friggin' roof was going to blow off. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very scary. Dalton was jumping on the bed like a hooligan and had no clue what was going on. Like, he was not scared, which is good because I don't want to impress like me being scared on him. But I'm like, could you please stop jumping on the bed while there's 100-mile-an-hour winds outside the house? Yeah, so that's what I was dealing with while we were having it. And we did have them for about 4 hours, so it was a long time. We heard snapping, the power went out, then you really hear the snapping and the wind whizzing by, and it was very very scary. I will tell you that. But so my plan, I had put the 3-day handling, was that if we did not have power yesterday, we would have shipped with the generator. So I did extend my handling time to 3 days, and we would have shipped with the generator. So I would say at least have yourself a generator. Also, eBay does recognize these natural disasters, and they will forgive if you have late shipping. You know, so all you have to do is put that you were in the path of Hurricane Helene, and they will forgive those late shipments. So there is also, so the printer giveaway will be coming in about half an hour. Special thanks to Jaden's. They reached out and gave me another one to give away to you guys, which is amazing. Super excited. And then Brooke has been doing my social media. It was a Cat 4. It was a Cat 4 when it hit. And that little sucker hooked to the right towards me. I was like, oh, you son of a gun. I was singing to the left, and it wasn't listening. It hooked to the right. And that happens. It happens. And nobody beat me. We were under a mandatory evacuation. I did not leave. But we were under mandatory evacuation for storm surge, and I know my area doesn't flood. That's why I chose not to leave. I've been on my property 10 years. I know my property, and we were safe. And at the point they put it out, there was nowhere I could have got to that would have been out of the way of this storm. So I know my house is, sturdy. It was built in 1942, and I know I don't flood. So we stayed, and yeah. So what was I going to do? Oh, I don't remember.
Also, too, guys, if items are stuck at the post office right now, and that's going to happen to like places like Miami and other places right now.
I know Katie has stuff stuck in Tennessee.
Yeah, eBay will be understanding on that. So if a buyer does open up a claim against you or anything like that, you'll have like 3 to 5 days to respond to it. Wait till the very last day to respond with a tracking number, and make sure you put in there, let them know, say, hey, just put in the when you do respond to eBay, put in like the description there, stuck because of storm and stuff like that. eBay will. Last time this happened, when we had a hurricane, eBay extended my shipments by 10 days. So I had the 5-day window, and then once I filled out the last day, eBay added an extra 10 days to allow that shipment to get there. So they've done that in the past for hurricanes and during COVID time and during blizzards.
They'll do it during the floods and stuff too. When there have been bad flooding, I've seen them do it as well. So they will do it. We like, our yard looks like a hurricane went through it. I said that kind of being funny because, it did. But having down trees, having limbs all over is absolutely nothing compared to the devastation that a lot of people went through with this. And we are very, very lucky. We are very blessed that we have our house and we have our lives, and not everyone does. So that is like absolutely nothing. I'm good. Even if we had lost the house and we were alive, then I would still be good. That people are what you can't replace. Stuff you can replace. All right. Miss Susan says, I promote everything over $10 at 2%. During fourth quarter, do you think it would be wise to increase it to a higher percent as it gets closer to Christmas?
I promote at trending, but not over 10%. So I don't know if it would be smarter. I'm not going to promote mine any higher. I've been promoting it exactly the same for the last year on eBay. So I know this, but during Christmas time and fourth quarter, I actually list more. So it kind of like boosts my store, I think, up in the algorithm type of deal. But I don't ever mess with promotions. I'm one, like, when I find something that works, I have a pretty good, like, I think it works, type of thing. I don't really mess with it. Now, it's totally up to you. I think 2% is fairly low to promote things. That's not low if they're good quality items. Then I think, you don't need to promote, Scotty Cameron putters. You don't need to promote that. It'll sell. Trust me. There's a couple things out there that really don't need to be promoted. But I promote, all I can tell you is I promote at trending rate, not over 10%, and I really don't mess with it. I don't promote everything right when I list it either. I promote it 30 days after. I'm usually pretty good at doing that. And then because I use the, if it sells within the first 30 days, if there's no promotion on it, then after that, everything's at trending and not over 10%. But I don't mess with it during Christmas. I don't know if that would be smart or not. All I do is I know that I list a lot more coming up in like November. Like Hammer will be down on listing on eBay.
Yeah. I don't do a flat promotion on my items. It depends on the item. If I think it'll sell faster, I'll do 5, maybe even sometimes 3 or 4%. And if I think it's going to be a sitter, I will promote up to whatever they're recommending. Not on too many items though, because it makes me mad. But also, I think maybe it is smart to go up a little more during Christmas time. Just what Julian said, he's going to be listing more. I think everyone's going to be listing more, and you really want your items to show up, and hoping we all have a great fourth quarter.
So
Pause the show.
Pause this.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Dalton.
buddy.
Good night, Dalton.
I love you. Be good for your sister. Please go to bed. Everybody's saying good night to you.
Good night,
Mommy
Dalton.
loves you. Good night. He got mad last time I didn't stop the show to immediately acknowledge him. So we're stopping the show for
That's
Mr.
good.
Dalton. Good night, buddy. I love you. All right. Sorry, Rod. There you go.
No, you're good. So one thing you have to take into consideration during the fourth quarter, you're already going to have an increase in sales because everyone's shopping for the holidays. So you're naturally going to have an increase. People's highest quarters are usually fourth quarter. As for marketing, you can increase your promotion if you want to. I have a marketing degree and I was a director of marketing for a company. What in the corporate world, what businesses do is they have a marketing budget they use, and during the fourth quarter, whatever's left over, they use as much as possible because they need to use that entire marketing budget. Because if they give that company $100,000 and they end the year at $80,000, they're going to lose that $20,000 the next year, saying that they didn't use their full budget, so they don't need a full budget. So what a lot of big corporations do is they're going to spend all their money during the fourth quarter to blow out their marketing budget. So you're going to have a lot more competition when it comes to that with businesses. But on an individual level, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. You can try it out, see how it works for you. Try it out I would test it out maybe November, December timeframe. If you want to do it, don't increase a lot though, because if you do a drastic jump in promotions that go from 2% to like 8%, it will hurt you when you start to bring it back down. So just keep that in mind. So you always want to do a gradual up or gradual down and not a major jump when you do your promotions on there and see what works for you. And then if it doesn't work for you, then maybe next fourth quarter, you keep it at how it is. But eBay is one of those things where you have to see what works for you and the items you're selling. If you're selling something that's going to be very competitive, like clothing, where you're just selling like store mall brand clothing, it's going to be very flooded and very competitive market. You may need to promote higher. But if you're selling one-off items, you need to put the extra promotion on there. So it really comes down to your individual store and what you're selling.
Yeah, so I also promote at trending up to 10% on every single item, even those that are under $10. I don't have a ton that are under $10. But if you buy low, you have the ability to promote, and that does get you more sales. Yes, it's going to cost you more in fees, but if you sell on Poshmark has 20% fees. So I kind of look at that. Thank you, Serenity. I appreciate it. So yeah, just, do what works for you. Some people have to buy higher because of their area, and they might not, have the room to promote. So you really have to look at your business model. And I would recommend promoting if you can. That is my thing. Castro, we'll get them. We're on it. We're on it. We got it. There's a hot mess in the chat tonight. I also wanted to say, just FYI, if you post your question over and over, it's not going to get answered, and we're going to block you from the chat. My mods aren't going to play, so if you want to stay in here, please be respectful and behave. Just saying. All right. On that note, on behaving, this really has nothing to do with that. I promised you guys I would show you when I got more done on my sleeve, and I did. So My arm is starting to fill up. So I got some coral. I got some more hammerheads. I got a school of fish. I got a bunch of seagrass around my stingray and my turtle. And yeah, so it will be completely covered from shoulder to wrist when I am done. There will be no blank skin. That is what we are working towards. Thank you for whacking 2 of them. Guys, I don't play in my chat. We've been doing this a long time. My mods know that as well. We have 400 people in here. And if you want to play nice. And if you put your question, we will see it and get to it in order. Yes, ouch. It is a little bit of ouch. I have about 10 hours in on it right now. And it will be about 30 when I'm done. So, yeah. So there's your update on the sleeve.
Love it.
I love it too. I'm like so happy with it. All right. Miss Tasha says, I had a seller cancel his buyer request. They probably follow me. Even though I didn't make a request as a fellow seller, how do you respond? I probably got too upset.
I had a seller. So you bought something from somebody and then they canceled the buyer request.
So when you go to cancel a code item, you have a drop down and they pick buyer request.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And I actually probably, if I like bought something and somebody did that to me, I probably would let it go, honestly, because I'm not saying I've done that before, but I've always reached out to people and said, hey, do you want something else from the store? I can't find this and I have no idea where it is. And then if I don't hear something back, I was like, well, I gave him a shot. And then I usually do that because I did give him a shot and they didn't answer me back. And I had some people say, no, I don't want anything from your store. And I say, okay, cancel, buy a request. So like on eBay, I'm pretty lenient when I buy something and somebody's like, oh, I had to cancel it, bro. Buy a request. I was like, well, I didn't request it, but I understand that it's not in bin C4. I get it. Like it's not there. So I'll, even if you didn't reach out to me, it's cool. So that's how I would respond. I would respond with probably more empathy than anything. Like, I get where you're coming from. So because I've done it before, like we lose stuff, we're human. We've lost stuff before. I've always asked, reached out to the person, hey, I can't find this. Or if I know what's gone, I have nothing that's similar. I'm always like, I'll just refund them. I've done that and actually taken the hit on my account. I don't do that very often because we usually have something similar. A lot of times a golf club, I had one golf club go missing over like 5-year period. There's nothing else like that. Like the guy was very specific. So it's like, they're not going to want anything else. So I did take the hit on that, but I usually reach out to them. But if I was the buyer and then the seller did that to me, I'm going to empathize with them. Just say, I get it, bro. I get it. Wasn't on the shelf. So that I would just kind of giggle and be like, I guess I'll find something else.
I think that's a perfect answer. I use the nurse flipper strategy as well that you just described.
I think we all learned it from her.
Yeah, I think so. It works so well. And I really can't add much more to that other than to say, as resellers, we could show maybe a little grace, like you said, make it a little bit humorous. I love that comment. I understand it's not in C3.
Yeah,
we get it. We get it.
We've all been there, and that's the thing. We've all been there. We can't find something. Nothing's worse finding. Especially if you lose like a $10 item and you're looking for half an hour. You're like, I spent a half an hour. I could have made hundreds of dollars in a half an hour and I'm searching for this $10 item. Like that's the worst. So, but yeah, I reach out to them. So me personally, I always contact the buyer first because that way I give the buyer a chance to respond. And I always offer them, hey, would you like a discount for something else in my stores or something else? Or I swap it out for you. If not, I can just provide you a refund. And they usually respond, say, no, I'm cool. Just give me the refund. And then that way you can literally say buyer request so that if you ever get flagged or they report you to eBay or something like that, you have proof that, hey, the buyer actually requested this. The reason why people do buyer requested, because if you do out of stock, item damage, what happens is eBay will ding your account. So it's the seller's way of trying to cover their butt, not get dings on the account. Because remember, we're all small businesses. Majority of us here are a small business. And dings on our account can hurt us, hurt our family, hurt our livelihood. So do have some empathy. I think empathy is really big that we should show these sellers. At the end of the day, if the seller's not going to send it to you, what does it matter if they say, oh, I can't find the item or buyer requested to cancel? At the end of the day, you're still not getting the item. You're still going to get a refund. I mean, just move on, find an item, you can buy it and move on, But, another trick, and here's another trick for you guys. If you have a buyer that's like getting real salty about it, what you could do is you could actually send them a refund and say, hey, I'm going to send you a gift. Print the label and send them like some stickers or something else in the mail so that you have a tracking going to the extra buyer. Buyer got a full refund. This way, you're not canceling the order. You're still sending them a free gift and buyer's getting a full refund. That's the other workaround on there.
So smart.
Yep.
So I also would have understood as a seller, you take a ding when you use a reason other than that. I definitely would not have got upset or mad at all. I typically message them, ask them. Well, first of all, I look and see if I can find the item from another seller and I will drop ship it. That is my number one thing I do. First, I see if I can find it from someone else. I can ship it to them. I do. If I cannot, I will message them, ask them if they want something else worth, say, like 125% the value of what they bought. And if or would they prefer I cancel? That is my option to them. Would you like something worth more than what you bought? Or would you like me to cancel? Most of the time they say they would like me to cancel, and then I cancel buyer requested because they just did. If they do not answer me, I still cancel buyer requested to cancel. And that's what I do. So like I said, that seller probably learned from me. And yeah, that's what I do. The trolls are out thick tonight. So I want to say an extra special thank you to my mods. They are working tonight. The trolls are here. They are here. Silver hair stacker. So I accidentally dropped your swung base and there's a big crack. Would you like to cancel your order? There you go. I mean, if they don't, but they're going to say they do,
I love this movie. So.
See? Brad. I had to spend $25 on Brad the other night on their podcast to make him tell a story. I had to send a $20 super chat to Chris, Buck Mountain Barn. I had to whip my wallet out. Does the buyer get a ding if we cancel saying they requested? No, they do not. It does not hurt them at all. No. And yes, the mods, Julian brought him down. Is Julian on the trolls?
I didn't. I probably have. I've probably already blocked them off of my channel. They're probably like, I'll get you. And I was like, not me. Boop, you've been blocked for years.
Those new YouTubers get us every time, let me tell you.
They do, man.
The new tubers bring us so many trolls. All the trolls. Miss Bonnie wants to know, Julian, do you and Kayla ever go to the bins?
We don't have one close. We wish we did. We had word actually through a manager at a Goodwill that we were supposed to get one, I think in like Conway or Aner or something, which would be fairly close to us. And it fell through. They never built it. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But the closest bins to us is about an hour and 30 minutes away. It's in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. So it would be kind of a drive to go down there. And then the next one, I think, is where Harry Tornado is. I think that's the other closest one to me. There was one in Asheville that we've been through, which I'm pretty sure is probably no longer functioning. But there's not one close to us. So no, we wish, because we can make a ton of content in there. That would be easier. So, but we only have retail shops.
Okay. Do you all want us to answer about bins, or are we going to the next one? That was specifically.
No, sorry. Listen, Katie, if you were in this chat, Katie Reeds just sent me some banana thing. That's what you heard. And I clicked on it to open it, and it's talking banana. And I'm like, Katie, did you just send me that while I'm live? I don't know if she's in the chat messing with me, but I go and open it, and it's a talking banana.
Maybe you're getting the troll tonight.
I think it's
your friends are trolling you.
Definitely not me.
Okay.
Maybe poor Julian over here.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing. I'm brand new. I just got here.
He just started YouTube yesterday. What are we talking about
here?
Carol says, if a seller underestimates postage and sends the item with postage due, who gets charged for the needed postage, the buyer or the seller?
It's a good question. And actually, it's a solid question. I've been charged multiple times for packages that were too long. And so we figured that out. But I would get charged, especially through UPS, and I don't use FedEx anymore, but UPS, they charge me, the seller, like the person that sent it. But I had somebody send me something to my P.O. box, and I had to pay like $4 to receive it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't like, well, why weren't they charged? Because I'm charged all the time on eBay. If I mess something, now recently I haven't because you got a new scale and I knew how to measure stuff correctly now. But I was like, I paid it anyway, but I was kind of confused. I was like, wait a second, because they said the postage was due. And I was like, why didn't you just charge them like you charge me every time I mess up? So I don't actually have an answer to that, to be quite honest with you. I know on eBay, if you mess up, a lot of times you get charged. Like, especially UPS, when that thing gets delivered and if it was over, your account.
Yeah, they just weigh it and charge it to your account.
Yep. But for some reason, the other day at my P.O. box, I was charged $4 because the person didn't send enough money or whatever. And I was like, well, I kind of want it because they sent it to me. So I paid $4 for it. I don't even know why, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's never happened to me through eBay. I had the opposite thing happen with me when I used Pirate Ship. That it's happened to me like 3 times, at least once a month. I get a notice that I've been refunded because it was under the weight. I'm like, what? Okay. Have you guys ever had that? The refund?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mostly like 40 cents, 30 cents. I don't think I've ever had over $1.
You'll get those. So I buy all my shipping labels through eBay, but I use PayPal. I don't actually purchase through eBay because I like I hook up my Amex rewards card to my PayPal, so that way I can still get all the points of my card. And I always get a PayPal dispute, and I always freak out. I'm like, oh, what is this? And I click on it. It's like, you won your dispute. eBay sided on you, or eBay filed a dispute for you. You get $1.73 or something like that. So, but for me, so I think it depends where you actually purchase the postage. Because if you actually go to the post office and you buy it over the counter, then the buyer will have to pay for it if it's short, I think, at that point in time. But that should be on the post office. Yep. That should be in the post office if they weighed it wrong at the end of the day. But I've had it both sides, though. I've had it where I had to pay money out of my pocket, like Julian did when the item came. They wouldn't deliver it to me. I had to go to the post office to actually pick it up because it was short, like $5 and something cents. So I had that. But most of the time, if I am short or if I messed up, my scale was off or something like that, I will get a notification from eBay saying that your item was off, and they automatically bill my account. So that goes for UPS, goes for FedEx, and that goes for the Postal Service. Now, there are times where the post office messes up or UPS messes up. I've seen horror stories in like different groups where people are getting charged like $500, $1,200 because the dimensions were super off or something like that. They might have missed something in their system. So you can always dispute those, but eBay will take the money from you until you file the dispute and go through it.
Yeah, so it was a viewer that bought from me, and they had to pay postage on something I sent, and I felt so bad. They messaged me because like we weigh every single thing, so I'm not sure. Listen, buddy, we're gonna fight Dennis with one N, not two. So yeah, they had to pay. And normally I thought it got charged back to me. So that was like the first person I'd heard, but I'm pretty sure most of our stuff is accurate. So I don't know how that even happened. I don't know, but I felt bad. I would have sent it. They said they didn't want it, but I would have sent it if they did want it. All right. Sarah sells smalls by the seashore. Nope, Brad. And installments. Okay, you got a few more, buddy. Make sure Chris gave you your cut. Okay, I'm going to do this. Did Marsha, hold on, let me see something first. Did Marsha put a super chat? Okay, we're going to use Brad's super chat for the purpose of showing Julian something. So, Rod, keep your eyes open. Everybody else, close your eyes, and here we go.
Am I still supposed to close my eyes?
No, Kevin makes people naturally blind, so it's okay.
I haven't seen him yet in here. Oh, nope, we're getting another one. Okay, open your eyes this time. Here he comes again.
We had
All right, he
the
lost
Three King
that.
Flipper
Road
on a couple of weeks ago, and they played the game. Every time they saw Kevin's butt, they would drink. They were drunk by the end of the show
Oh no.
because people kept doing super chats. We must have like
See?
7 Kevins that night.
That's funny.
Dennis is trying to make people drink.
Yeah.
He was giving a word like he's Pee Wee Herman in the chat,
Yeah.
and the word of the day, they have to drink.
This could be real.
No, Kevin has enough money already. He owns Bonanza. All
He's
right.
got plenty. He doesn't need my money. Don't tell him I said that. Okay. Sarah sells smalls by the seashore. I add to her name. When is the best time during Q4 to list high dollar, very rare items for auction?
If they're high dollar, very rare items and they have amazing sell-through rate, people are looking for them all day long. It's not like on just a Q4 thing. Like we sell, since we've been in storage units, we've been getting like high quality, like gold and stuff like that and jewelry pieces. It's not going to bring any more to me. It's not going to bring any more on Q4 because it's going to be gone up to that price point. So if it is a high quality item and people are looking for it, it's going to sell no matter what. Will you get a little bit more because people were out there buying items for Christmas? Maybe. But I'm telling you right now, I mean, people are out there still spending a ton of money on eBay. For sure. Like, but if you're trying to get it like right at the right moment, I mean, just think about shipping the item. So you don't want to get it too terribly close to Christmas, and you don't want to get it so early where they're not thinking that's a Christmas gift, but you don't want to get it too late where they spent all their money on eBay and they already spent their money. So it'd be like right in that middle area. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like, oh, I got to get Christmas gifts. But if it's a good quality item, high dollar, rare, and you know it is, I'd be listing that thing right when I got it in my little hands. I'd be like, boop, it's good.
Yes, and to maybe make it even more specific, I don't do a lot of auctions, but if I did, I would probably list it so that it ends between like 6 and 9 p.m., covers the busy weekend, and maybe if it's really valuable and you think you're going to get a lot of bids, maybe do a longer auction. But I would have it probably try to end like when most people are looking in the PM hours or the weekend hours.
So I am going to second what both of them just said right there. But the only thing I'm going to add to that is you can list at any point in time. List it on a Thursday. Put it for a 10-day auction. So it hits 2 different weekends. And I always make sure my auctions end between like 8 and 9 at night on a Sunday night. Because what are most people doing at 8 and 9 on a Sunday night? You're sitting on your couch or laying in bed with your phone in your hand, getting ready to go to work, hating life because you know you got to work tomorrow. So you're on your phone looking at stuff. It's a perfect time for an auction to end. And my biggest auction sales have always been on a Sunday evening. Make sure there's no like big events or anything else going on when you do that. So you want to make sure that you do plan that. You put a lot of thought into it. You know, make sure when you look at your calendar, when you do plan an auction, look at that auction day, make sure there's no holiday, make sure there's no big events, nothing going on TV wise, something that could distract from your auction, because I've seen people schedule auctions and have them end in the Super Bowl and stuff like that, which is a horrible idea. And I know I had picked up stuff on the Super Bowl where people were all not paying attention. I got stuff for super cheap. So you don't want to make that mistake. But Thursday night, 10-day auction is going to cost you an extra 10 cents to do it, but it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, I don't wait to list anything. I agree with you. Like, people buy year round, and if it's rare, they're going to be looking for it year round, right? Not just at Christmas. I would list now. I don't hold on to anything that's seasonal. That's like your coats, your jackets, your things like that. There are people traveling around the world, and I guarantee you it is cold somewhere. We also ship international. It is cold somewhere. I see Steve-O resells. He's one of my original people that has been around my channel a very long time. So, hey, Steve-O. If you guys don't follow him, he has a YouTube channel as well. And there's Mr. Gino, the maker of the super chats. And
Just
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Rod.
So 2/3 of the U.S. population is on the East Coast. So that's why I always like to say between 8 and 9 on the Eastern time for that, because majority of my items always go to the East Coast regardless. So I always try to do numbers game, be very analytical with it. But I mean, you can pick and see what works best for you and your audience, but that's what I personally do myself.
All right. So what I am going to do before we answer another question is I'm trying to do, hold on, I'm having issues. Okay. Marsha, yeah, like, yeah, I'm trying to pull up the Jaden's Home YouTube page, and it, like, I'm typing it in the search button and it won't like pull anything up. Oh, now it wants to behave. Thanks. Okay, let me see if I can find this to share with you guys. I'm going to put this before I let you start entering the giveaway, okay? Because the deal with it. Look, Marsha, why did you tell me to not? Marsha has it in the chat. Please, and actually, hold on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pin it to the top because that is the condition for entering this giveaway. What are you doing, Rob?
I don't know. I clicked the button and I won't come off. There we go. I'm sorry. I don't know. I clicked on something and I was like.
Okay, hold on. Let me figure out my life real quick. Good luck. It might be a minute, everybody.
Okay, I don't think we have enough time for that.
Hold on. I gotta. Okay, there's the link. We really don't.
Oh, that was a good one.
He always messes with me. Okay, I have pinned it, so please subscribe to them. I think Brooke posted it earlier on my Instagram and Facebook as well. Please follow Jaden's Home. We're gonna give away a free thermal printer. It will be a random color. You can't get a pink one like me. This, I think, is the 4th one they have given us, guys. And I'm gonna give one away tomorrow in my video, so you better watch it. There's another one available tomorrow as well. So Rod's hiding, and I'm going to put this up here for you guys to enter. Hashtag Jaden's Home. Please go follow them. Again, that is one of the conditions they ask that you follow them. You just click. Rod's not. Why you want to make everybody drunk like you, Dennis? Why? I love my Jaden's printer too. It's right here. It's the only one we use. So yes, please go subscribe to their YouTube channel, hashtag Jaden's Home. You will get a free thermal printer sent to your house. They have these amazing, and after this is done, Marshall posts my link in case you don't win one. You can get 14% off. I love, can you see this? They have pink thermal labels.
Oh, yeah.
And they sent them to me, and we use them. So if you bought something from us lately, you've seen these things. We are on our 2nd box of pink thermal labels, and we absolutely love them. Rod has disappeared, but I am going to put another question up so we can. Oh, bye, Julie. Hold on. Oh, there, I figured it out. Well, I knew there was a way. Okay. So Miss Elizabeth says, how do you combine shipping if they paid for the items separately without getting dinged as if you did not ship one?
If they've already paid for the item, so that means that you cannot send them an invoice. There is a way on the left side on eBay, just that you click it, like at the very top, it's going to say like shipping, then you click, and you click the 2 little buttons, and it's going to say combined. And you're just going to take those, and you can combine it down, and then you'll be able to fill out the label. I know that was a horrible way to describe that. Like there's clicky things and things on the left side and stuff. But there's definitely a YouTube video on that, and just literally put that in. But there is a way to do it, and it's not that difficult. It's like 4 clicks on eBay, and you're good to go. Because I ship on Pirate Ship a lot, and when they do that, I actually go on eBay to combine them instead of combining them on Pirate Ship, because on Pirate Ship is more convoluted, I think. But eBay is very, very easy. Click some buttons and boom. Yeah.
Yep, you just copy and paste that tracking number and say mark ship.
Yeah, you can actually, yep. That's how we do it on Pirate Ship, is that Kayla does the copy and paste and then mark shipped, because it would be that same tracking number. But there is a way to combine them also, just boop, boop, and hit combine.
Yeah, eBay requires like payment now on almost everything.
Yeah, so the invoice thing.
Yeah, so for me, the hard thing is, I will warn you guys, and I don't know if it still does it, but is that if you refund some of that sale, it goes out of your items to be shipped list, like you canceled the order. So do not refund until after you have shipped. that is the big thing. Rod, do you have anything to add, like on combining shipping?
Okay, and ding if you didn't ship one of them.
Yeah, like if you combine them, it'll automatically show. You can mark it as shipped without a tracking number too. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually combine it yourself too. I mean, you can, if you just ship one item, you can actually copy the. Can you still copy it and put that
No,
same? Oh
it'll
yeah, that's
tell
right.
you it's already been used.
That's right. They changed it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. All right, let's see. We'll answer a couple more and give you time to enter. Only do it once. StreamYard only picks it up once. There is absolutely no point in doing it more than once, and the moderators will not be too happy if you do it over and over. They will also put you in timeout. Again, there are 430 of you here. The chat gets clogged pretty easy, guys. So please be respectful. Just put it once. I promise you're entered. All right. Lucas says, do you use Flex and Seal shipping roll on shipping? And if you do, what type of items are good for this? I have not heard about Flex and Seal since, what was it, like 2 years ago? Josh did an ad for them, didn't he?
I don't even know what that is.
Do you remember that, Julian? It was while you were on here, I think. It's been a long time.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work very well anymore. What's it called? Flex and Seal? I don't use it. I don't even know what it is. It's ringing a bell, but
it's like this bubble wrap that like sticks to itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember that. Yep. I wouldn't use that because it'd get all over my hands. Then I got sticky stuff all over my hands, and it's bubble wrap. No, that would be terrible for me. Steve-O remembers it. They say I remember it. Yes.
I have also never used it, but I have tried a new thing recently called, I'm looking at it, Scotch Cushion Lock Protective Wrap, which is not sticky. It's made of, it's paper, but it's like an accordion. It like, as you pull it off, it like stretches. And it's, the only thing is if you're packing a lot of things, it gets a little like, my fingers get a little sore. Like it feels a little sharp. But I have been experimenting with that to see if it helps with less weight. It uses less plastic for sure. But I'm still experimenting to see if I like it. But I like how it's a super compact roll that just stretches on and on and on and on.
What was that called?
It's called Scotch Cushion Lock Protective Wrap.
Gotcha.
Really interesting.
That's a very long name. I feel like marketing should shorten that.
Yeah.
Super long name. I'm still typing it.
I'll write it in the chat.
I never use it, so I'll pass the cat.
Yeah, and I've never used it either, so I can't answer that one either. All right, we have a new member. I'm going to give her my favorite thing, if you do not know, because they are now tattooed all over me to prove a point.
It's Kevin.
It's all right with me. Today is the first day of the month. I will put out the schedule for the members tomorrow, but I will tell you now is the best time to join my channel membership because the beginning of the month is when everything happens. We do eBay listing reviews or Posh or Etsy or wherever you sell. We will have live sourcing. We will also have live shipping. So there's a lot coming up at the beginning of the month. So now is an excellent time to join. So here is my favoritist one. Even above the whale, the membership one is my favorite. Here you go.
I was mesmerized by that turtle.
I love sea turtles.
They're pretty cool.
Oh, Christina, here you go. I got some new stuff on it. There's my turtle. My main turtle is almost my whole arm. That was what I wanted to be a centerpiece. There's coral. There's some hammerhead sharks here. Oh, the top. I didn't show you guys. The top is a wave. That's going to be all in color on the shoulder. Stingrays, turtle, seagrass. Who's tiny? What are you talking? Oh, I am tiny. Do you want me to make me big? Okay. All right. Here.
There
Turtle, coral, seagrass, stingray, turtle, stingrays, hammerheads, fish, wave. That's the summary of it. The whole arm will be covered from wrist to shoulder when I'm done. I meant to put it up there. Somebody asked about the pain. The pain is pretty legit, but I'm pretty good at pain tolerance. I don't have them put numbing cream or anything. I just grin and bear it.
It's more of an annoying pain. That's I would say for me. Like I've had some
places are worse than others. The wrist is absolutely horrible. Horrible.
When there's no fat there, or when you're on like a part that has just bone and stuff like that, it's
and then right here on the chest bone, this one, whoo, buddy, right there on the sternum.
Yeah. I went across my back and I could feel my vertebrae like vibrating from the. I get chills just thinking about it. But
yeah, I have one in the middle of my back as well. Yeah, right in the center was not.
Would you agree though? After like the first half an hour, it's more just an annoying burning pain. You just kind of get used to it then. Don't anyone tell you tattoos?
Wait for where he's going, and I'm like, some places are a lot worse than others. Yeah, the crease in the arm is hard too. All right, let's pick a winner for this printer. What you will need to do is message me or email me with your mailing address as well as your phone number is what I'm going to need if you win. So let's see who's going to win. Dun, 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 dun.
This is exciting.
Super exciting. Shelly Joe Merrill.
It's so mad. I think someone wins and then changes the last second.
Yeah.
Congrats.
All right. Shelly Joe Merrill. Marsha will put my email. Send me an email with your shipping address and your phone number, please. Julie, can you tell them the name again or type it now that everybody's not trying to win a free printer?
Oh, sure. Yep.
Marsha will also put my link. You can get 14% off Jaden's if you guys did not win and you are not Shelly. They're very, very well priced. They are not expensive and they work very well. Rod uses it. I use it. I actually sold my Dymo because I like the Jaden's better. I don't even have my Dymo anymore. So yeah. All right. Let us see.
Yeah, remember the Dymo you gave me?
I do.
I still have it, but I will probably buy a Jaden's now. I will go ahead and probably buy one of those soon because that Dymo.
They're so nice.
Yeah, we've worn that Dymo out, so we were looking for another thermal printer. So there we go.
Yeah, and they're low cost too.
A piece of advice with a lot of people is you should have 2 thermal printers, 2 mouses, 2 everything because if something ever goes wrong in your business,
somewhere I do have another one.
You don't have to waste time waiting a day or 2 for that item to ship to you. Always have a backup because then your business will never slow down or have any hiccups along the way. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got in business and makes total sense.
Yeah. All right. Miss Lisa Beachwalker wants to know, how do you set up automatic feedback? It has stopped a couple of times and can't figure out how to get it back.
I have mine set up and I haven't seen it or done that in like probably 3 or 4 years. So there's. I'm in the same boat. I have not even. I don't even know honestly if yours says yours stopped. I might have to look at mine. What happens if mine stopped? Nobody's getting feedback.
I was just thinking the same thing. Maybe I should check mine.
Yeah, I've done it. I did it like 3 years ago. I think I did it on this show with Kat like a long time ago.
Yeah, mine's been set up too for automatic. What I would do is if you can't figure something out on eBay website, it's a lot easier to Google it because Google will give you the direct link to it instead of searching eBay's website. So just Google how to set up automatic feedback. I just did it. The first thing that popped up was a direct link to it that you can set up for your store. So
perfect. All right. Mark is here, and it is 9/11. Go figure. Huh. So Mark is paying his late fee, and Mark always gets Rod. Here you go. And he's asking, who is that bearded guy?
Mark.
He's some new guy. We found him on the street.
They gave me a camera and told me to come on here. I was like, okay, that sounds fun.
It's brand new. All right, here you go.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time.
All right. So Gila wants to know, does anyone record sold item at the time of shipping? I do that because if a buyer says an item was not in the box or it shipped damaged, should she continue recording boxing the items?
Like actually
Rod?
recording like you're taking a phone and recording it?
Yes, that's what she means, I believe.
No, that would take forever. There's not a lot of times, honestly. Now we just went over like 5,000 and some like feedbacks. We've sold like, I don't know, a lot on eBay. For the time that you're taking probably to record that, I have had very little times, twice I can remember in 5 years, where they said it was missing in the box or damaged. Usually is like okay, I kind of understand that type of deal. Like, you know, a golf club was damaged. Okay, I get it. You know, sometimes they get damaged, but I would not. That's a lot of time that you're taking to record that. I wouldn't do it. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I have, again, in 5 years, twice somebody said it wasn't in the box, and the box was actually heavily damaged. I was like, probably fell out. So, but I wouldn't. That is a lot of time recording, especially even if you're shipping 3 things a day. I know how long it takes to film things, and you're filming and shipping at the same time. And I'm not 100% sure that, because what says that you record it and then you stop the camera and then you take it out and send it to them. I don't know exactly how that would even play out.
How you would prove it.
Yeah. How that would play out in the court of law of EBU land. So I wouldn't do it just for time references.
Oh my gosh, I was on the phone with eBay last night for a way too long amount of time because I was suspicious of an offer I received the day before of an account that had just been created that day, and they were buying they were putting an offer in for one of my most valuable items. So since they had 0 feedback and just created, I said, I'm probably not going to accept this offer. It's suspicious. The next day, like right at the moment that offer expired, someone with almost the same name but a little different created another account and just bought it full price. So I called up eBay and just mentioned that I thought it was suspicious. I'm not sure if I want to ship this out. What should I do to protect myself? And they said exactly that. You need to record yourself shipping the item, putting it in the box, taking it to the store. And I was thinking the same thing, Julian, like the entire video, because what if I stop it? How do they? So I was like, I was actually planning on doing that. Like it would have been a 45-minute video. But I actually decided to not fulfill this order. So it was a little too suspicious for me.
So your red flag probably was right on that one, especially if it was the same buyer had the same similar name on that one. But I will say, you ever remember when you call eBay, sometimes you deal with people at customer service, sometimes it's outsourced. You don't always get the proper answers. And that is, I'm sorry, but that's a horrible answer to do that. So I have sold over 15,000 items on eBay. Could you guys imagine if I had to record all 15,000 items? I would have sold 3,000 items if I had to record all 15,000 items. It's counterproductive. It's not worth your time. At the end of the day, even if you get screwed out of a couple of different items, it's the cost of doing business. I hate to say that, but it's cost of doing business. We got to factor that in. And the amount of time I would spend recording my items, I can list 5-10 more items at the same time. I would make double, triple amount of money that I would, but the item I'm going to get, screwed on at the end of the day. But I recently, if you guys watched my last flipping and punching video, I literally had a Sega Genesis I sold to someone. They ripped my box in half. They destroyed it. They filed a claim. They mailed it back. And I disputed with eBay. What eBay does, if you call up eBay, they're going to send you an affidavit to fill out. So all you have to do is fill out the affidavit. You have to take pictures of the item, pictures explain the damage to it. You have to you put up all different photos on there. eBay also looks at your history of your account. So if you're on eBay for, like Julian, if you're on eBay for 5 years and they look at your history and you only had 1 or 2 claims in 5 years with people saying the item's not delivered there, more than likely you're going to be an honest seller. They're going to side with you. What eBay does is they actually refund the buyer. They allow you to keep your money. You get to keep your money as well. And eBay eats it. That's what they do in situations like that. Now, if you have a history where you're having 5, 6, 7, 10 of these claims, that's not going to happen. But the chances of these happening, you've been selling eBay for 5 years, so it happened twice. I've been on eBay since 1999. I can count on probably 2 hands how many times has this happened to me? Maybe one hand. It doesn't happen that very often. So at the end of the day, people get so worried about scammers and these items. Just it's part of doing business. You're going to waste so much more time doing this. Every business out there, Walmart, everything else, they literally incorporate in their price of like a 5%, 10% waste cost. Because they know that people are going to steal items, they know people are going to return items, they're going to swap them out of boxes. It's part of doing business, and I hate to say that, but I say 99% of the people you're going to deal with at eBay are going to be good people and not going to have issues.
So my internet is being crappy no matter which one I put it on. A lot of our cell towers are still down here from the hurricane. So hopefully you guys can hear me, I hope. Yesterday, I get a message from somebody that says, "Is this a joke? You sent me an empty box." And I said, "Can you please send me a picture of the box and the packaging?" So they send me a picture of a box. It was not one of my boxes. I knew it was not one of my boxes. And I said, "That is not my box. Can you please show me the label on that box?" And they come back, and they did not even apologize, is the thing that gets me, and said, "My husband told me it was on my desk, and it wasn't. I got your package, thanks."
Oh my gosh.
And they were being like so nasty and rude to me that I sent them an empty box. And it was like whoever packaged whatever the heck was in that box did not know what they had it like inside a padded envelope, inside a box. There was no bubble wrap. I'm like, that is not my box and not my packaging. Sorry, lady. And anyways, it turns out like, I don't know if she was trying to get one over on me, but I'm like, that is not my box. And my people would not put something inside of a padded envelope inside of a box. That's not how we pack. So yeah, that just happened yesterday. So anyways, to answer your question, I'm going to be in the same boat as everybody else. We ship out 50 after a weekend. 50. No. Like that, I called her bluff. Show me the packaging. I have had a license plate that was damaged and the end slid open on the envelope, and it did fall out. I refunded them. Am I going to put every license plate in a box that cost me $1 more to ship? No, I'm going to take the 1 out of 500 license plates I've sold, and I'm going to refund their $15.
I think this would be a good time too. So, Julian, do you guys do partial refunds to buyers? If someone says, "Oh, I got XYZ, there's an issue with this," do you do a partial refund, or do you tell them to send it back for a full refund?
I haven't been on a show in a long time. I don't know. No, personally, we do not do partial refunds. I used to, and now I don't. I say, listen, you're either getting all of your money back because this is my fault, or I'm going to go ahead and take this entire thing back, and then I will 100% give you the item, the money back once I receive the item. I am a hard stand against partial refunds. I don't know y'all's opinion on that, but me, I'm a hard stand against partial refunds.
Yeah,
Rod, click the next question, and I'm changing my internet. I'm sorry to interrupt, Julie. I'm going to disappear.
We're partial refund. I'll take care of it.
No worries.
It's bad.
I've never offered partial refund, but I've had a customer ask because they ordered like 4 bowls and one of them broke, and I was prepared to give a full refund because that sucks to have 3 bowls. Once 3 bowls, but they said, do you think you could refund just 25%? And I was like, well, that's absolutely fine if you want to keep the 3 bowls, but and then I ended up giving them a little bit more, but usually I just offer a full refund unless they ask.
Yeah, so and when I get in situations like that, because you get a lot of people that are going to try to fish for partial refunds, I will do certain occasions. If it's like a broken glass or something like that, where I got pictures of it, I know that's my item, I'll do like a refund that. But 95% of the time, I do not, just like Julian, I do not get partial refunds because people will fish for a refund or a partial refund, and I will tell them I will pay for the shipping. I'll eat the cost at that point in time. Oh, wow. 9 out of 10 times, they say, "Oh, no, that's fine," or they don't respond when you do that every single time. So if you're a new eBay seller, because I feel like a lot of buyers will target new eBay sellers or people have low feedback, If people try to say, oh, there's something wrong with the item, ask them to send your photos. After they send the photos, then tell them, okay, feel free to open a claim. I'll issue a full refund once I receive it. You get a lot of those in like video games and in certain categories where people are like, oh, there's a scratch of this I didn't see or something like that. And I just tell them to mail it back. And then they end up just keeping it. They're just fishing for it. So be on the lookout for that. What about you, Kat? I know what Kat's answer on this one's going to be.
I'll give a partial if I know it's my fault. Like Julie was said, like if one of 4 broke, they want to keep the other 3. I will refund that. If they point out a defect that I can see in my photos that I missed, I will give a partial refund. If it's some other absolutely ridiculous reason, I'm going to tell them they have to send it back. So whenever I can tell it's my fault, or if it's damaged in shipping and I see, even if it wasn't my fault and the box is damaged, it's my job to get it to them safely, whether the post office jacked it up or not, then I will give them a refund as well. And if it's worth it for me, I'll file a claim. Most of the times it's not worth it for me to file a claim. I just eat it. So yeah, very, very rarely do I issue partial refunds. All right. D wants to know, how do you keep, this is a good question that we can talk about since they changed to eBay managed payments. How do you keep funds in your eBay account to cover fees if they transfer all your funds monthly, weekly, etc.? Can you set the fees to come out of your bank account rather than your sales? I don't have a store.
This is the one I read, and I said, I hope I don't get this question.
Well, you get every question, buddy.
With every question. I'm not going to lie to you here.
The only individual question tonight has even been for you. So you literally have got every question.
How do you keep funds? See, we do weekly payouts. We don't keep any. It's like an ongoing thing. So like we're selling stuff and we're not really, the fees are coming out or whatever like that. They come out of the actual thing. But we also don't have our shipping coming out because we use pirate ship. So I have no idea because I don't know, because we have an ongoing, like, we sell every day. So there's like always money there to be had type of deal. It will go in the negative on there, but I don't know. It's already hooked up to your bank account. That's what I'm confused about. They already have your bank account. That's
I just noticed. Oh, go ahead, Julian.
No, please interrupt me because I'm talking like a founder here.
I don't have much.
Thank you, Julie. I don't know.
Life mask. Come on, he's.
I start stuttering. Somebody else starts speaking.
Oh my gosh. No, I just see adjustments in my bank account that's on file, which might be a bank card, not a bank account on file. But I am curious, Rod and Kat, what you think about this with the changes.
So no matter whatever you do, there's no way to keep that money in your account, because if you do daily, weekly, or monthly payouts, at some point in time, that money's going to leave your account and go to your bank account. So the only thing you can do is just sell, because once you sell something, that money's going to be back in your account. For some odd reason, anytime I have an issue, it usually comes out the day or the day after I get my payment. So payments come out on Tuesday. So either Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll have like a return or have something like hit my account or something like that. All they do is they put your account in negative, and then once you get your next sale, it just brings it back to positive. So
that's actually right.
Yeah. So there's nothing you can really do to that. Try to keep the money in your account. Unless Kat knows something I don't know.
I do. And that's something that none of you have said.
Okay.
So all of your fees are taken out before eBay gives you those funds. They are taken out of the buyer's payment, except for shipping. Shipping is the only thing that is not automatically taken out, which is why I like managed payments, because you're not going to get stuck with all those fees. So before your money goes into your account, they take all of their fees. The only thing not taken is shipping. And before that money shows up in your eBay account, it is like, hold on, let me share screen. Hold on, let me get this up.
So I was thinking this question as like, if you get hit with like a return or something where.
No, I think they mean just regular fees.
Regular fees.
So like you guys can look, hold on, I'm going to share the screen with you. I'm going to go, this is whatever, it's a $13 order. But if I go to, what is it? View order details. Can you guys see me? Yes.
Actually, hold on. We need to put you.
Take us out and the question off.
There we go.
Okay. So if you scroll down to the bottom down here on the right, it says what your buyer paid. So, and then it tells you order total is $22.11. Sales tax collected is $157. Selling costs were $3.13. So my order earnings were $17.41. That's what they. Oh, somehow I'm on eBay China, Hong Kong. Okay, I don't know what just happened. But so $17.41 is what I get. So the only thing that is not taken out again is the shipping. So that would be the only thing that you would have to worry about having enough money in your account for. I do weekly payouts as well. So you could set it up like Rod does and have it where it comes off your card via PayPal or just via your card. And then you wouldn't have to worry about the shipping coming out of your available funds or your pending funds.
Yeah, or like.
And that doesn't matter if you have a store or not. None of that matters if you have a store or not. That's how it works.
Julian, can you answer this question? Because people keep asking in the chat about pirate ship. Do you get the same discounts on eBay as you do on pirate ship? Why are you? People are asking in chat. What I saw a couple times. Why are you using pirate ship?
The reason why we use pirate ship is we ship through different platforms. Like we have our own website and everything now. So everything is integrated into that. And we have it cooked to our credit card, our business credit card. So it works it's one place we have to go. We don't have to jump back and forth. So it's through simplicity. And also we do, we get the same. I sometimes go and check because when I first started with pirate ship, I'd be like, let's just make sure that it is the same as eBay prices and it's not any cheaper. I have never found it that it was cheaper on eBay or cheaper on pirate ship. They're usually very competitive or the exact same price. I do notice now, and I don't know because I haven't shipped on eBay, like actually bought something on eBay in a while, but on pirate ship, I use Ground Saver from UPS a lot. It is like the cheapest way. It's like this hybrid thing. I don't even know what it is, but I've never had a package not go because it just popped up on pirate ship. I want to say like 6 months ago, and it's the cheapest way to do it. Insurance is cheaper on pirate ship. That's what Thrifted Spirit says. That could be true. I do buy insurance sometimes through them. I haven't had to use it yet. I don't know how good it is because I've never had anything lost, that had insurance on it. Luckily, knock on wood. But that's why I use it is because we ship on multiple platforms, and instead of going to each platform, everything is integrated into one. Just boop, 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 and that's it.
And here's a good hack for you guys. If you guys ever put something on eBay, like something that can be shipped media mail in a non-media mail category, eBay will not allow you to ship it media mail. They'll automatically flag it, and you have to ship like 1WayVintage or Priority Mail. So you actually can import that listing into pirate ship, and you can ship it media mail. So that's the work around it. Yeah.
And pirate ship, this is important. Pirate ship already, once you click it and ship it on pirate ship, because you have your eBay and other stuff linked to it, your tracking number is automatically put on eBay, and then so it automatically goes that it's shipped, and then they are sent. It has the tracking number on eBay.
So
as long as you link your eBay to it,
it has to be linked. Yep.
So I always recommend that people have a pirate ship account. Pirate ship is free to sign up for it. All you have to do is put a credit card on file or PayPal, however you want to pay. And then there's a button in pirate ship. You click import from eBay. You can hook up your eBay account. It will literally take, say if you have 30 orders, it will literally take all 30 orders and import those all at one time. It's very simplistic, very easy to use. And then just when you buy your label, it automatically updates your eBay account and you're good to go.
Yep.
All right. Gangsta Kiwi says, what type of bank account should I link to eBay? Do you have any advice on how to manage the banking and payment aspect of reselling? And should I form an LLC? And with any question like this, we always preface this with none of us are accountants. And this is a question that definitely I would recommend asking an accountant for, but we can give you our opinions on it.
Perfect. I will give you my opinion, my onion. And what I did was when I first started, did not have separate bank accounts, and that ended pretty quick. I was like, boop, gotta need separate bank accounts. So now we have a separate bank account. for everything. We have a business credit card. We have a business bank account. Everything is linked to this. I have a business checking account that anything we make from the business goes in there. Any debit or any credits that we have, or, we buy something, that's going to be on the business credit card. Everything is linked there, because for even if you do your own taxes or you have a tax person, they're going to want that. It's a lot easier. If it's only in one bank account, everything gets confused. So I would just make sure that you have some sort of separate bank account that is specifically for business. It's so much easier to do that. And then also the LLC thing, that you have to look in your state regulations and your state thing, because sometimes it's more expensive in some states to have an LLC. Some states you need certain things, some states you don't. So I would just go ahead and actually look where you live. And then, if it's important to have an LLC in your area, because you do have it's limited liability corporation. So there is some, stuff there that you need to know, and how much it is to get one in your area. And it's totally on like what you do with it. That's what I'm saying. It's like you can be a sole proprietor, an LLC. And if you don't have a bank account, right, and you're an LLC, but you still have like a personal bank account, everything's going in there. It's something called the corporate veil. So they could still sue you, and still, because you're an LLC, doesn't mean that you're actually going to get that, protection, because nothing's separated. So it's up to you about the LLC, but I would say I highly suggest a different bank account, like a business bank account in your business name, that everything comes out of that. I have an accountant and a bookkeeper, because I did consult, because 2 years ago when I was on here with Kat, we always say, consult somebody. And I finally did. And I realized I'm an idiot. I know nothing about accounts.
Now he has a guy. We have a guy. Oh, I think you have a girl, don't you? I have a guy.
I got a girl. Yep. So, but that's my 2 cents.
Julian, you stole all the good answers. So
that's the first time of the night, though. You have to admit, I've been a little bit shabby tonight about my.
Good.
Getting the rust off, Julian. That's all, man. Getting the rust off. You're good.
It was rough.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. So
what he said. That's what Julian used to always say. Yeah, what he said.
So you definitely should have a separate bank account. You don't even have to have a business account for your eBay, but you should have a separate bank account. Now, when it comes to deciding what is best for your business, just like Julian said, there's a bunch of different types of corporations out there. There's not just LLC. You can S Corp. There's other things that you could potentially do. You want to meet with an accountant, because the accountant's going to ask you questions about your business. If you have employees, not employees, how you're going to pay yourself, as a part-time, as a full-time, and they're going to put together a game plan for you. The same reason why each and one of you guys come here every Tuesday night, because you're asking experts to get your questions answered or try to find out more information. Same thing about accounting. We're not experts here. Don't step over $100 bills to pick up pennies to try to cut corners, do it yourself. Go meet with an accountant. If you already have an accountant, sit down with them and talk to them. I spent, I think, like $130, $150. I went to my accountant's office because I didn't want to talk to him over the phone. He set up my entire corporation for me through the state. He set up my business accounts. He said that, hey, this is what we're going to do this year. And then we're going to meet again in another 1 or 2 years down the line, and we might move it to a different corporation depending on how you're doing with your business. So he sat down, set up my business, and then put together a game plan going forward with how things are going. So, and they can readjust you based on, like, for example, like I added YouTube, I added, selling on Whatnot, I added all these other platforms. So now I'm having income coming in from different sources. So that's why it's good to have an accountant to lean on to answer those questions.
Yeah, I think everybody covered it. Definitely the separate bank account. Rod and I both, like, the business credit cards, get the points. I get several $100s back every month. Make sure you pay them off every month. Yep. Whether you should form an LLC. If you make $200 a year, no, I do not think you need an accountant to answer Andrew's question. I will tell you, though, there is My Reseller Genie. Marcia, do you have that link handy, or Mark? My Reseller Genie is only $10 to $20 a month, and they actually incorporate eBay and Poshmark, and they pull in the sales, and they will spit out the accounting forms and all of the numbers that you need to file your taxes. So I think for somebody making a lower dollar amount, My Reseller Genie would be an amazing option, especially if you don't have all of these avenues of revenue that us that are on YouTube have, where money's kind of flying at you from different directions. It doesn't fly that easily, but it does come from a lot of different directions. And so it's a little bit more difficult as far as accounting goes. If you're just selling on eBay Poshmark, then my resell, look at Mark coming in clutch. There's my reseller Genie code. They are absolutely amazing. They have been on the show with us before. I probably need to get them back on. We're coming into Q4. We are in Q4. And I'll try and have Paul and Faith on with us again. I'll reach out to them and try and get them on, because we're getting into when you guys really, you should have been thinking about taxes in January. If you haven't, you better start thinking about it now.
And
it's a race now, Marsha. It's a race.
Do not wait to January to look for an accountant. This is the best time.
They will be busy and not have time for you in January.
So right now is the best time to look for an accountant, because after October 15th, that's where the extension ends. They have a window there where they can meet with you and talk to you. And a lot of accountants will not take on new clients in the beginning of the year because they have a full plate. So
mine does tax planning in October. We will do tax planning this month.
Do not, and I promise you when I say this, because I have a bunch of friends that try to look for accountants in January and were scrambling for their business and end up having to do it themselves and made big mistakes. Try to find an accountant now to meet with and talk to. This is the perfect time to do it.
All right. I want to tell you guys, and I'm not just trying to get super chats. I mean, I don't mind if you send me super chats. You can send super chats, and that could be a tax write-off, because you can say it's for your education, because we're an educational channel. Like any of my memberships, that is towards bettering your business. That is a tax write-off. Photo Room is a tax write-off. List Perfectly is a tax write-off. All of these tools that you use in your business are tax write-offs, and that's why you need an accountant. And yes, they are all found by chance. I would reach out to my reseller Genie. Paul and Faith are amazing at helping. Reach out to them.
They're small business.
You cannot claim you pay me more. You must pay me more, Gina, if you would like to claim it.
But they're small business. They're a mom and pop place, but they are great. They will answer your questions directly. They are great people. We have met them at multiple reselling events. Hung out with them, super cool people. So can't speak highly enough of them.
Yeah, they are. She is a reseller. He is an accountant. That's what happens when they get together. They make a program that we can use. All right. Dun, da, da, da. Good old Jake over at J Ride Flips wants to know, who is the best bearded eBay YouTuber?
I'll tell you what, it ain't me. I'll tell you that right now. I'm like coming like 10.
There are so many bearded.
So many.
Yeah, there really are. There really are.
I'm sure there's somebody way better, but I'm probably I'm probably like 12, maybe. I would think 15. Definitely not number one.
Deborah's asking, who do you ship with? USPS or UPS doesn't pick up or deliver. So I guess let's say how we handle our packages from USPS, FedEx, UPS. How do you get those out?
I get beat up on this a lot. I take them. We made a fairly good connection with our post office. So it'd be the USPS down the street. So basically, if we just did a Whatnot show, or we had a really good weekend of over like 30 packages, we actually go to the back. They have a bin. I'm not saying it's just for us, but they have a bin. And then I flip all my stuff in there. I put a little scan sheet on it, and I'm out. I don't wait in no line or nothing. UPS, we know the people at UPS. We're there every day. So we actually have a little drop-off. I'm not saying it's just for us, but we have a little drop-off. We go over and go, boop, good to go. And there's no scan sheet for them. It's just where they scan it in. If we have shipped twice in one day, which sometimes we do, it all depends what we're doing that day, or have a small number of items. Maybe I had a bad day on eBay. We go to a spot that takes everything. They take UPS, they take USPS, they take FedEx, and we will just give them 20 items, and they're pretty cool, and they'll scan it right there. You can get a receipt. We never get one unless it's something high dollar, and then we just give it to them, and then that's it. But we take all of our packages. We don't do deliveries because I just don't trust them. I hate to say it, but I just don't. I mean, and I don't want to put out like 50 packages on my thing, because I'm not saying that somebody stole my factor meals that was supposed to be delivered 3 days ago, but I ain't never got them. So I'm not sitting out 50, 60 items out there all prettied and taped And then next thing you know, I have to leave somewhere. And then, I'm not saying people would take them, but that would be detrimental to either have late shipping on 50 items when they didn't come up and they said they would, or somebody steal your stuff. Because that would be hard.
Yes. I'm also afraid to put things on the doorstep. Too much traffic going by. But I'm wanting to look into that a little bit more. Do they have a knock on your door service and then you give it to them? I don't know. But we currently put them all in the trunk, take them to the post office. If it's too much to handle, which is a blessed day, then I just go get one of their rolling carts, take things from the trunk, put it right in, and you can scan it yourself at our post office and put it right through the window, and it goes into a bin. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, there are a lot of areas that aren't picking up or delivering due to the hurricane. So,
I threw that up there.
Yeah. So for me, I take my items to the post office because one, I don't want to. If I do whatnot in eBay, I may put out 75, 100 packages. Like I don't. First off, if I was a delivery person, I would be upset if I came to my house and had to put in and scan 100 packages in the heat. First off, I would be pissed about that. All right. So I don't want to do it to someone else. Secondly, I would say one of the smart things you guys should do is talk to your postal service, UPS, FedEx. There's Walgreens, there's CVS. Sometimes you can drop it off. Dollar General does FedEx. I know Walgreens does FedEx. I think it's Dollar General does UPS or FedEx. I don't know. They do one of them. But find out what their pickup time is, because that's very important. Because I know my post office by me. It's not an actual official post office, but they're associated with them. They pick up at 5:15, so I know I can drop my packages off there. They'll go out the same day. I know the Walgreens by my house at 1:30 is their pickup time. I know the UPS is after it's 6 p.m. pickup time. I also have one of those all-in-one shops that Julian was talking about. It's actually a ship station place where you can drop off UPS, FedEx, and United States Postal Service packages there, and all three go there and pick up. So if I know Walgreens is past 1:30, I'm going to go to the ship station because I know they pick up at 5 o'clock for FedEx. So that way I know my items will go out that day, not going to sit there another day. So it's really good to know those when you are delivering your packages, dropping off. But I take my own packages. So I'm also only less than 5 minutes away to a lot of those places.
All right. I'm going to answer Gretchen's question as well as answer this. So that will go back again to if say they're not open. Some post offices are not open right now. eBay is going to give you a pass on that. Okay. Number one, eBay is going to give you a pass. For us, the post office is still open, and we also bring everything to the post office. My employee brings it every day when she gets off. She goes to the post office, she drops it off. And as far as if you bring 50 packages, will they scan them? It's their job. It's their job. And I have a little bit of a tiff with one of the postal workers. And so if she's behind the counter on a Monday, we forget the scan form every time. I'm not going to lie. And she can scan every last package. So I might tell you about that one day. I'm not going to tell you about it right now. Rod knows about that. But anyways, so when our friend is behind the counter, we do not give her the scan form. When anybody else is, we do. So I would say definitely print the scan form if you are able to. Our new USPS driver sucks. Our good one retired. The new one is I wouldn't trust him to pick up my packages regardless, but I don't want to give them 50 packages, like they would have to fill up their whole truck, go back from their route, come back. Like to me, it's not fair to them, especially when we have the ability to go up there. And also CVS does take UPS, Walgreens does take FedEx. And even in my little tiny town, we have both. We have FedEx, we have Walgreens, so we can bring them there. So we drop everything off. Now, if the post office was closed, we would have to wait. I honestly, if it were me with as many packages I have, I would probably call the next town over and I would drive them. If that town was open and mine was not. That is what I would do. But again, eBay will give you a pass. You're not going to get a ding on it. So you do not have to worry about the ding if that is one of your concerns.
Also, too, guys, if
Oh,
you guys,
I didn't know Dollar General
yeah,
did
Dollar
FedEx.
General does FedEx. I couldn't remember if it's FedEx or
There's
UPS.
a Dollar General in the middle of the friggin' desert. Like
Yeah.
those things pop up like everywhere.
So if you guys do schedule for deliveries to be picked up at your house, I will tell you this. This goes a long way. Put out a bucket of ice with bottles of water in it. Put a note on. Take one. We pick it up. My dad had a hauling tree service business growing up, and I used to work outside in the heat and do his business. And when people just walk up and give you a bottle of water and offer you stuff like that, it goes a long way. The people appreciate what you're doing. So these guys are out delivering packages in the heat. That bottle of water will go a long way for them. Also, to give them gifts such as just tell them you thank them and
If
give
they're
them $5.
good.
Yeah, if they're good, but still, even if they're not, they're going to go out of their way for you.
No.
Though I will tell you, they appreciate it
Not
because
That's a
mine,
hard
buddy.
no on that if they're not good.
That's a hard pass.
Hard
This
pass on
guy
them.
stuffs the mailbox so full that my packages fall out on the road, okay?
No
Rather
water for
than
them.
bringing it up to my house. No water for him. He can get his own water. No. All right. Anyway, I think this is a really, really good question. And I want everybody to answer this honestly, and you can answer it in the chat as well. Do you think it helps to be intelligent to be a reseller?
I think intelligent is one of those things like it's one of those things like I'm not intelligent. I can barely, honestly, people are like, yeah, I really can't even like hardly read. I know like I have like a very low reading thing, but I can speak. So I'm good at speaking.
He can speak very fast. I yelled at him for
very good.
that.
I'm articulate. I'm like ba 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 ba, but I can't read that well. So if if I take the SATs, I'm probably as smart as that dinosaur head behind me, just not smart, right? So I would say I would not overly intelligent, but if you can use the internet, right, and you have the ability to comprehend how to look on eBay for sold comps, how to understand that, then I think you would succeed. Because really eBay and selling is just what's selling now, what's it selling for, and is it in front of me and how much to buy it for, and some math. You got to have some math in there. Luckily, mostly everybody's got a calculator now in their little pocket. So if you need to like, okay, if I buy this for $10 and it's going to sell for $50, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying?
Julian's making me feel left out.
Yeah, why? Everybody puts it back there. So, but I mean, does it help to be intelligent? I think intelligence.
Got mine.
Common sense helps, yeah. But it was just one of those things that if you can use the internet, take a look at it. This sells, this doesn't sell, this sells for this much. Do some easy math. You'll be fine. You don't have to be a brain surgeon. I'll tell you that right now because I'm not one.
Very interesting question. I think that what is most important about being a reseller is your drive and how hard you want to work. And there's so much out there to find help, step-by-step things, just about anything you want to type in and get the answers on. But also I think organization is probably even more important than your level of intelligence. But yeah, I hate intelligence tests on paper, by the way. I think that's ridiculous. My husband happens to be quite dyslexic, but highly intelligent, but the paper won't tell him that. So that stuff drives me crazy. So yeah, I think it's drive. How hard do you want to work? How hard do you want to figure it out? And use the tools and resources out there. But I do fear the AI a little bit, that people might think that they can stop using their brains and just let AI do everything. I fear the day when anyone could walk into a thrift store, take a picture of something, the listing is made automatically, and they're done.
It's already there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I can't spell, and if you watch my card channel, I can't pronounce anyone's name correctly, but I will tell you there's a big difference between being book smart and street smart. And I really think that being street smart will get you a lot farther in the reselling business than being book smart. Yes, intelligence, it does help out, but at the end of the day, if you have the hustle, you have the drive, and you have persistence, having that street smart is going to get you a lot farther than just being book smart, because anyone can read a book, anyone can take a test, anyone can be good, but you also have to apply those items. And You know, I can tell you what to buy. That doesn't mean you're going to go out there and make the best buys or be able to be functional or be able to implement those things. But I think that a lot of people that do survive and do really well in there can adapt and change, and being street smart gets you a lot farther, I think, in the reselling industry than it would be just being intelligent or being book smart.
Yeah, so I think it can help, but I don't think it's necessary to be a successful reseller. I think, like everybody said, using the tools that you have. Thank you, Lynn. Use the tools that you have. I think memory is a big thing, because like to remember what's selling when you're outsourcing, I think memory is super important. And at least not even like remembering every single piece, but if you like, I don't remember every single piece, but in my head somewhere I see something, I'm like, somebody showed that thing sells. Like, heck if I remember who it was or when it was, but I need to look that up. I think memory is a big thing. I think learning from your mistakes is a big thing. And anybody can learn this business. I don't care what your level of intelligence is. Yeah, except unless you're Mark. I mean, there's no hope for that guy.
He had a good run though, Kat. Mark had a good run.
You know, he's done now though. I mean, it's over. So I think that you can do it to the best of your ability, and it definitely helps to have the common sense. You could be the smartest person, like somebody was talking about working in the hospital. You can have these doctors that are smart as hell, but they have no common sense, right? And so like Rod was saying, like, I am bad about, like, I don't wheel and deal. If you have ever watched my garage sale videos, I very rarely wheel and deal, but you watch Rod, you watch Kevin, Julian, like, I don't do that. And I mean, I could, but I just don't. And
I think you would, Kat, though, if you were
I do it if I buy everything. Like, if I'm going to buy a lot, I do. But, like, I don't bargain on, like, individual items. I just, I don't.
It's also not your main sourcing, you know, how you're
right. That's
you're a
auction.
thrift store, you do online auction. So you're getting your stuff where you're so used to not doing that. Where my main sourcing is interacting and buying stuff off individual people all the time. So I think you probably would if you did it more often, maybe.
I don't know, because I don't like when people do it to me.
It's funny.
I like it. So like, even if an item's $2, like, I wanted to negotiate for $1. And because it's not just about getting
and
that
it's
good
$2,
deal.
I'm like, it's cheap, it's $2, I'm gonna pay him $2.
But I like the banter. I like the give and take, Kat. I like the challenge. Like, but also too, if I bought 50 items, if I say $1 on all 50 items, I can put $50 in my pocket. Like, it goes a long way. Like, I don't know. People comment on my videos all the time about that.
And it's not that it makes me uncomfortable, because when I buy big lots from estate sales or garage sales, I do negotiate on lots, or if they have piles, I do. See, Aaron loves it too. I think it's your personality. And I just know, like, if I have a yard sale and you come offer me $1 for something I have for $2, I'm going to tell you to take it on down the road. Like,
it's a yard sale, Kat. You want to get it gone.
No, I want my $2. Like, the next person might give me $2. I mean, I don't, it's just different people, different personalities. But I think there's so many ways to do this business that you don't have to have intelligence. And there's so many different kinds. There's street smarts, you know, there's common sense, there's book smart. And I think if you got a little of each, you're probably going to be the better off, you know. It's a business. That's the bottom line. You need to be able to make a living. You need to be able to know when you can turn a profit and be able to calculate that somehow. You need to know if it sells for 10, fees are $2, shipping is whatever. Whether it's on paper or program, if you aren't making money, it's not going to work. So I think determination and willingness to learn, Dee hit it on the head. If you have the willingness to learn, then you're going to do well, no matter the level of intelligence. I think anybody can learn how to do this. Is it going to help if you're smart? Probably, yeah. I mean, I can't say no. I think it would help. But if you're like a ding-dong book smart that has absolutely no street common sense, then no, it's not going to do you very much good. I can, like, you guys know, and I bet most of us that are here on YouTube that are doing this, like, we can sell stuff. Like, we are naturally good salesmen, right? Just that's what we do. Like, I can sell you stuff I'm not even trying to sell you, you know? And I think that's what everybody always tells me. Like, they see some of the stuff I sell and they're like, how the hell did you, like, what is going on? Sell moss out of the trees. I mean, I'll sell you like whatever you want. I'll sell it to you because that's what I do. But anyway, now that we've talked to the end of the show, Rod, pick a question. Last question. You pick it.
There was actually one really good one in here I wanted to talk about, because especially with the hurricane here. Here we go. It's about insurance. About, do you insure your items in case of water damage from hurricane, earthquakes? So if you guys, so just keep this in mind. Pretty much here's the question. Do you guys insure your business, or do you have it covered under your homeowner's insurance?
There's no actual inventory in our house. Everything is insured in our storage units. So we have 3 storage units and a trailer. All of that is insured under the business. Our actual like equipment, like this computer and stuff like that's been bought for the business and everything, we even have a minimum amount of that in the house now. And that would be under the business as well, all insured. We did not do anything on our homeowners because everything is separate. We are completely separate from everything. Like, if the house goes down, I'm calling the business insurance company and saying, hey, I got this car messed up, I got my trailer messed up, and I got this stuff and this messed up. And I'm going to call my homeowner's insurance and say, hey, my personal items were in here and this is what this is going to be. But we are like, there's a hard line between our business and our personal items. We don't try to mix any type of personal and business items in any entity, like insurance, nothing. Like, all of that is completely separate.
We did add some to our insurance because it really wasn't that much more expensive over the course of the year. So we did add some. But another thing, just kind of along that same line, is we write off the square footage of the rooms that we're using in our home. Right now I'm like probably in the biggest room of our home, and all the square footage gets written off, all the expenses related to it, whether you're renting, whether you're paying a mortgage, it gets divided up. And yeah, we write off every possible thing that we can, and that's just a little extra fee to our insurance. It wasn't much more, so I did insure. I'm not sure if I estimated my items accurately. Probably could go up a little bit since we've been doing way too much shopping. But yeah, I think it's worth looking into. Ask the question.
So when I built my house 2.5 years ago, I met with my insurance agent, and they said that you cannot cover your business under your homeowner's insurance because it's actually a business. So if you're incorporated as a business, you have to actually have separate.
Some companies will allow it. Some companies will allow it, but not very many.
Yeah, not many. So for those that don't know, if you think that if you have a business and you run everything out of your house, that's the reason why I brought this question up, especially with the hurricane, everything just hitting. It's very important that you make sure you have the proper coverage. Now, if you have yourself in the storage unit will offer insurance, for your items. You can actually go through them. You get separate business insurance for your items, but don't think that just because you have everything in your house, it's going to be covered under your homeowner's insurance. You have to look into it because, like Kat said, some do, but most don't. So you would have to get a separate business policy for those, but they're not expensive. If you look into it, it just depends on how much merchandise you have. Remember, if you have $100,000 of merchandise, you might only have $10,000 into it. So you can always
you can choose what you covered.
Yeah,
you can choose the sales value, or you can choose the replacement value. Right. And I kind of went somewhere in the middle with mine. I think I did 100,000, and I have almost 400,000 in inventory right now. But I could replace that probably with 50,000. So I have insurance on my inventory, on all of my equipment, as well as my building. So if this lovely Hurricane Helene with her 100-mile-an-hour winds at my house and we had a tree that went that way, If it would have come this way, it would have been on top of this shed. It would have covered my shed. It would have covered the inventory in my shed, and it would have paid me my sales money while I was out of work. So when this became my main income, now if I am out because of the hurricane, if it damages my shed or my inventory, they will replace the inventory and they will give me my average sales probably over the last 90 days. So for me, about $12,000 to $15,000 a month, the insurance company would give me that. I could still pay my employees, which would be nice. So there, or you could just get your inventory, but I chose to cover inventory, the storage buildings, and the equipment, just because it's my main income, you know, so super important to me. I didn't have insurance on it, I will tell you guys, until I was full-time. When I was part-time, I did not insure it. I think we pay about $250 to $300 a month, which I don't think is very bad.
Which is
I'll also
right
tell
off.
you, with employees, like I have to have work comp. There's so much that like it's just a whole different ball game. But yeah, all right.
And
25
honestly,
questions unanswered, guys.
one more thing to add to that: make sure you guys take a video of your inventory, what you guys have, especially if it's the really expensive items. You do that like once a year, just so you have it if you update anything, so you have a record of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're gonna make everybody big, and not everybody, just Julian and Julie, and then Rod and I will tell you what we have going on and where you can find us. So here is Julian.
I just want to thank everybody coming out tonight. It was awesome. Again, thank you, Kat and Rod, for having me on. I drop a video every other day on the Bearded Thrift Machine and every 4 days on the Flip Squad. So right now, I think a couple people in the chat said they had just watched one of our storage unit videos. That is a 3-part series. The next one comes out not tomorrow, but the next day. And they get better and better and better as we're going through this. So it's a cool little series. And again, I just thank everybody coming out tonight. There was like 400 people here. Kat, I remember when you had 5. You know what I'm saying?
We're trying. You're
doing great things. Y'all are doing great things. I just appreciate it. And thank you.
All right, here's Julie.
Thanks so much. This was so great and great crowd. Great crowd. We're a growing YouTube channel, so if you want to see what we're thrifting, we put out about 1 video a week right now. It's about all I can handle. I do all the editing myself. I do this full time, but come check out how crazy my husband is in the thrift stores. I've never laughed so hard than when I take that guy Mike out thrifting. If you want to see what we are actually picking up and selling, you can visit our eBay store, or you can visit our Shopify store, which is 1WayVintageShop.com. And if you want to interact with us live and just have fun, come visit me on our live sales. That guy Mike is with me on our live sales. Our next one is actually Thursday, and you'll find us on the Niche Shopping Network YouTube page for that one. We have a ton of fun there. And other than that, I do very little on Instagram, but you will find me there as well. And this has been a blast. Thank you so much, Kat and Rod and Julian.
All right. Rod, what's going on, friend?
So if you guys are wondering, I haven't really put a lot of videos this past week because of the hurricane. So I will be limiting those. They will be back up full next week, but I may put up 1 or 2 of those this week. I'll have one the pick and punching channel, and tomorrow I'll drop one the flipping punching channel. If you guys didn't know, eBay is removing selling fees, so you have to learn about that tomorrow.
All right. Next week we will have Aaron Rebel Junk and somebody else, because Rod and I have been very bad. And I am going to record a what sold video. So the what sold video that went out Sunday was actually from last week because of the hurricane. Same thing. I missed some videos. So I plan on staying up tonight after we get off of here and do recording a couple videos. So if it looks like I look the same, it's because I'm going to do it in like 5 minutes. That's why. So I'm going to do a what sold tomorrow, and I'm giving away another Jaden's printer. So if you were interested in the Jaden's printer, I'm going to give one away in that video tomorrow. And then Friday, I'm doing something else. I'll decide in like the next 10 minutes. I don't know what, because it's been a little hectic around here with the hurricane. And there's another one headed for us. So if I was smart, I would make extra ones, but I haven't done that. Julian keeps telling me, and I keep not listening. I probably will also have out a Kat's treasure hunting video tomorrow. And I think Thursday, me and Shannon are going to some 50% off sales. So that should be fun. And I hope if this daggum hurricane does not come this weekend, I will try and do some live selling over on Knickknacks. I've been saying it. I have my jewelry organized. It's just not been in the cards for me to do live selling. I just have so much time, like this much time, and this much stuff, and so can't Rod. He can, because he just gave
tomorrow when you return to flipping and punching. I'll tell all about eBay's removing selling fees. You guys didn't know.
Clickbait.
Not clickbait. It's true.
Moral clickbait.
It's true. It's.
I've just seen it. That's what that was.
All right, guys. Thank you so much to Julian for coming back. It's always a great time. And Julee, guys, check out both their channels if you don't know them. The links are down in the description if you're listening below. Rod, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. And we're out. Bye, guys.